We don't need nobody watching us. Your eyes. No, he said, I don't even know the damn words. Damn. Eyes on your eyes, everybody here but you and me. Making your private part. Cause I know you love your privacy. Yeah. Let's not have a Chris Brown moment. We're gonna save that for another time. Hey y'all, it's your girl Neek. On this session, we're going to be discussing. What are we gonna be discussing? Oh, why the girl is afraid of being seen. Yeah, let's get into it because you know it's gonna be good. Cringe. First of all, that is a perfect example of two things can be true at once. Because how does that even make sense? Right? How does it even make sense for the girl to have the desire to be seen but afraid of being seen? And one of the main things for me is that first of all, the girl is a Scorpio and the girl has heavy scorpionic energy in her birth chart, in the makeup of her being. So it's always a struggle, it's always a battle with not expressing too much or not expressing enough because it very, very, very much gives all or nothing. Another issue for me is that I've always felt like I didn't really have one of those voices that like commands a room. Like say if you're in a room full of people and y'all just having like, a discussion about whatever said topic. And you know those moments where like everyone's like trying to talk at one time or whatever, and it's always like that one voice that everyone would just, at one time they would just like stop talking and allow that person to speak. See, I never really felt like I was like that person that can kind of like command a room and like, really take the lead in a discussion per se. So, but at the same time, I'm more of a listener. I only speak when I have something to say. I'm pretty quiet, and like I said, I'm more of an observer, and I actually prefer to listen most of the time. So as I really like did my research, really getting down to the nitty gritty, it basically boils down to my anxiety. That is like my number one form of fear because I have this belief that I'm not really good at speaking, which I'm kind of not, but the girl does what she can. Okay, that's another reason why I actually started this channel. So not only is it going to help me along my journey with self-expression, but it is going to help me to get more comfortable with actually talking in front of a camera, even though I'm not talking to my audience literally right now as I'm recording this. When I post it, I'm going to be talking to my audience, right? So my anxiety has that in mind. I have to constantly remind myself to breathe, not to talk so fast, and just really, take my time and say what the girl has to say. And so the girl's not really good at speaking, but neither is Beyonce. Ooh. I'm not comparing myself to Beyonce, just giving an example. Because Beyonce's still that girl, but I'm also still that girl too in my own right. So yeah, not too much on that, not too much. And the last reason why I'm afraid to be seen is because I'm thinking about how I'm going to be perceived by others. Look, I've been a consumer of social media for a very long time, right? And people are quick to cancel you, and people are quick to project their perceptions onto you. But the key word is their perceptions, not mine. Because I know that and I understand that someone's perception of me is subjective, right? It's subjective to just that individual person. And Imagine knowing myself, right? Imagine doing all the work to becoming, self-aware, all the personal growth and all the lessons and all the wisdom and the knowledge that I've gained up until this point in my life, for me to not be who I am, or for me to not act in such a way of knowing who I am. Imagine that. Imagine the girl doing all that work just to allow someone else's perception to overshadow that. Can you imagine it? Because I can't. And you shouldn't imagine that for yourself either. Fuck. Fucking nuts. Piece of shit. And honestly, I could really, really care less, because the girl's gonna always do and say whatever the girl wants to say, respectfully or not. But just know the girl is abundantly self-aware, and it's not really much you can say to, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Knock me off my rocker. Anyway, it's not much you can say to the girl. It's not much you can say to faze me, especially if I'm in a position where I'm being, vulnerable and transparent publicly. It's not really much you can say about me that I don't know about myself, or, maybe haven't expressed about myself. It's not really much you can do to compel me to undo all the work that I've done up until this point in my life. And I have, I have had a hell of a struggle with my self-esteem and my confidence and my self-worth, especially like stemming from like my childhood. I've definitely had struggles with that, and have definitely overcome that at this big old age. And I'm very, Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm very proud of myself. So let's give it up for the girl. So the solution to this conundrum is to push through the illusion of fear. And in this case, the illusion of my anxiety, even though I view my anxiety as a real thing, something that I am dealing with. But in that regard, I've also done and am still doing a lot of work with actually cultivating a relationship with my anxiety, to a point where I'm not allowing it to control my life. I'm not allowing it to have me live in fear. Me starting this channel, me being intentional about prospering on my journey of self-expression, is the product of that. Once the illusion of fear is acknowledged and analyzed and understood, and I've gotten down to the nitty-gritty of it, I have no other choice but to overcome it. Like, what other choice do I really have? I mean, yeah, that's another choice for me to let it overcome me, but why would I do that? Why would I allow myself to be afraid of the version of myself on the other side of the illusion of fear being seen? That was a mouthful. Let me say that again. I don't want to be afraid of that version of myself being seen, the version of myself that is on the other side of the illusion of fear. Boom, catch it. Catch it. So like, ew, no. Ew, like, no, I don't want to be a disservice to myself in such a way. And you shouldn't either. You really shouldn't. Ew. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. It's really not compelling. I don't want to prevent that version of myself from being seen. So I'm going to push through. I'm going to cringe through. Because that's exactly what y'all see me doing sometimes throughout my videos. But especially at the end of my videos, super cringe. Super cringe. You're actively seeing me push through but cringing at the same time. Let's give it up for balance. Let's give it up for balance, okay? Let's give it up for you. Even if you feel like you're still overcoming it, the fact that you're getting through it, the fact that you're aware of it, the fact that you're actively trying to get through it, and on your journey of self-worth, self-growth, and all the things, kudos to you. Shout out to you. If you're struggling with the fear of being seen, I encourage you to use me as an example of what I shared here. Apply what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I hope that me sharing my journey and sharing my experience and my wisdom will help you on your journey and will help you overcome your form of fear and help you get down to the bottom of why you're afraid of being seen. I also encourage you to like, share, subscribe, and comment your thoughts, your experience, your advice, or anything that you would like to share in the comments. Bye. I'm finna go play out in the snow because it is snowing in my city and I'm about to go outside and make snow angels. And it's nighttime, but you know the thing about when it snows and at night, I'm assuming that the snow cloud is like literally covering the sky, so it's not even really dark outside. It's just like a white cast. So beautiful. I'm about to go play out in the snow, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye. All right, bye. The cringe. Now I'm just being silly. Okay, bye.